Hello Home Slices, it's Kiera with Home Slice Adulting coming to you with my review for Braxton Family Values Season 6 Episode 7, which is titled Plus One Plus Drama. Now before we get into this video, I want to thank all of my new subscribers and my soon to be new subscribers for clicking on this video. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, but more importantly, don't forget to click that little bell next to the subscribe button so that a little birdie can chirp and tell you when I have new content on my channel. Now before I get into the meat and potatoes of this review, I do want to apologize for the quality of last week's review. I am just now getting to the point where I feel like I definitely have to stop phoning it in when it comes to doing some of these videos and essentially being lazy and not doing the videos on time or not wanting to set up my camera with the microphone and the lights and everything. So I want my channel to really grow, so I need to focus more on the quality, and this is me kind of guaranteeing you guys that there will be a lot less of those live videos with the lousy visuals and with the mediocre sound and the internet connection going in and out. I just want things to be a lot better on my channel, and I hope you guys are ready to come along on the ride with me. But let's get into what happened on this episode. This was a little bit of a nothing episode, but I actually got to live tweet this episode this time around, which was pretty cool, and I will be sharing one of those tweets with you on today because it was pretty funny and got an interesting response from some of the other users on Twitter. But first we start off, we see Towanda, Tamar, Trina, and Tracy. They're having dinner, and they decide that there's going to be no divorce talk this time around. And so they talk about the baby shower coming up. Is it going to be for Tracy or for Olivia? And Tracy says, you know, his baby shower is going to be for Olivia. Olivia's having the baby, right? Tracy feels very good that Olivia has invited her into the delivery room, which is very nice. Something tells me that Olivia's parents may not be happy that she's having this baby, and now Olivia is living with Tracy. So I guess Tracy is now her new like surrogate mother type of thing going on. I'm not really sure. But the question in the back of Tracy's mind is about the baby shower and whether Daddy Braxton is going to want to bring his wife, Miss Wanda, along. Now, they talk a little bit about their sex lives. They're still trying to figure out who Towanda is dating. They have these very interesting ways of talking about sex lives, like cock-a-doodle-doo and doing the hokey-pokey and turning yourself around. And Tamar talks about how she is putting her needs as a woman on hold so that she can be there for Logan. And to the sisters, this is the first time that Tamar seems to be kind of opening up about her divorce. They're not going to push it. They're going to let her do it in her own time. And that's very mature of them, considering how Tamar wasn't as courteous to them. But moving on, we see everybody at Toni's house except for Tamar. And once again, Tamar's absence stalls this announcement that we already know what the announcement is. But, you know, we got to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? But moving on, Tamar eventually never shows up, apparently. They talk a little bit about the baby shower, and apparently Toni's fruit has clothes. She crochets, clearly, and she crocheted little booties and sweaters for her pineapples and bananas. And here's the deal. Toni don't show up to these family functions, but she got time to sew and crochet and knit clothes for her fruit. Next we see Tracy. She is FaceTiming Daddy Braxton, and she tells him that they are having a boy, and he is excited. And she says, of course you are invited to this baby shower that's next week. And of course Daddy Braxton says, well, I'm invited, just me. And here are my feelings about this. My family has gone through somewhat of a similar situation as the Braxton family has, about someone divorcing someone and jumping right into a relationship with somebody new. The difference is that the person who had the indiscretion is no longer a part of our family. We don't have any blood ties to them or anything along those lines, so it's not like we have to interact with them. As much as I understand how much Mama Evelyn doesn't want them to be around, I think there's two sides of the coin. I feel like Mama Evelyn needs to get to the point where she kind of lets things go and doesn't harbor onto things just for her own sake. But on the other hand, I feel like Miss Wanda, you get excluded from stuff because you were a home wrecker. And when you wreck somebody's home, you can't expect to become just a part of the family, maybe even after 20 years. So I have always felt very ambivalent about the whole situation. Don't really know whose side to be on. I understand Mama Evelyn not wanting to mess with Miss Wanda at all or be in her presence at all, and then on the other hand, I feel like this is a discussion that they don't need to have every time that there's a family function. Oh, is he bringing Miss Wanda? Like, just thinking about it is just taxing, you know, emotionally. I love Tracy. She's one of my favorite sisters, but when she does her confessionals and it sounds like she's reading off a cue card, I just cannot stand that. But moving on, we see Toni doing a photo shoot with baby. Is it me, or did we see her butt crack like one too many times in that dress? Like, that dress was not pinned or tailored properly for her body, and I feel like we kept seeing the top of her booty crack, and it's like, is that not gonna show up on the pictures? I don't know if I feel like I saw something that nobody else saw. Let me know if I'm crazy, okay? But moving on, she admits that they have nothing in common, and I'm like, y'all, I just don't get it. But moving on, we see Tracy, Trina, and Towanda talking about their father, who are in Maryland, trying to bring a, you know, +1, aka his wife, aka Miss Wanda, aka the home wrecker that their mother does not want to be in the presence of. And I think they feel as ambivalent as I do. They want for the whole family to be able to get together without the discussion always having to be, well, who's bringing who and whatnot, and is mommy not gonna come if Miss Wanda is there, and that kind of discussion. And on the other hand, they want to protect their mother's feelings, so I get it. And you know, some of them feel like she may not be ready, and then some people feel like this could be a step in the right direction, and that maybe because it's such a joyous occasion involving, you know, the grandchildren and a new great-grandbaby, that they will actually push past it, and this will be the first step of them really getting over things. But moving on, we see all the ladies gather for tea, including Mama Evelyn, and it's time for the announcement, guys. The announcement that we've been waiting for since the beginning of this season. And it's like, Toni, get to the point. Come on. Again, it wasn't like we didn't already know, but her dragging this out for so long, having an opportunity to talk to everybody, and then having that opportunity ruined because Tamar didn't show up, or because Tamar showed up with Vince. Like, come on. I'm over it. Moving on, she finally spits it out. They are excited, but they are not surprised. That's the problem. I would want my family to not just be excited, but to be surprised as well. And for her to have put it off for so long is just annoying to me. Like, ugh. Okay. But moving on, she says that the proposal was romantic. If y'all want to go back and take a look at the episode where she explained the situation about how they got proposed, I do not think it was romantic. But okay. Anyways, I hope that all of the ladies are seeing a different side of Birdman that has nothing to do with his wallet. I really hope that they see that he is a very nice guy who treats Toni super well, and that they're just not looking at the fact that he's the opposite of Toni's ex-husband. Next, we see Tamar volunteering her services to actually plan the wedding, and I think Toni was thrown off by that. I don't think she's thrilled to have Tamar put together a wedding. I said this before, I don't think it's very good for someone who's struggling with their marriage to plan a wedding. On top of Tamar already being difficult, she's dealing with these weird emotions, and being around a wedding and talks of nuptials probably won't be very good for her, but okay. Moving on, Tamar says that her events are classy. Okay, I'm gonna take her word for it. I don't know necessarily, but then Toni isn't sure Toni says she wants to do interviews for wedding planners or whatever. And Mama Evelyn says, well, Towanda is the best party planner, so maybe Tamar and Towanda could do it together. And Tamar does not want to share that responsibility. And it's like, is Tamar still on tour? Tamar got a movie going on. She got her tour and her music going on. She like halfway in and halfway out of a divorce with Vince. Does she have the time or energy or experience or expertise to plan this wedding? I don't think so, personally. So I think she's just using this as a distraction from all of her life problems. But Towanda ain't doing that. We know Towanda don't be doing nothing. Towanda has time for stuff like this. You guys should just, my advice is to get a professional to plan the wedding. Pay that professional, because I'm sick and tired of these women unnecessarily intertwining their lives, okay? They intertwine their lives, and then when things don't work out, they get into arguments and stuff like that. And I understand you all are family. I understand that you all have a stake in keeping the family together for business purposes. You can be a family, you can have a show together, but if you keep some of those business things separate from your family, maybe y'all wouldn't have so many arguments. Hopefully y'all understand what I'm talking about. But moving on, Tamar doesn't want to work with anyone, and Towanda doesn't seem to be thrilled to work with Tamar as well, but Towanda says she'll do it if that's what Toni wants. So next we see that Tracy and Trina are going baby shopping, and Trina says, you know, Towanda and Tamar should not be fighting over somebody else's wedding, which I agree. Tracy thinks they need to work together because they have their own personal strengths that they can bring to the wedding. Towanda will be more so the let's get the party going. Like, she'll be in charge of the energy of the event, with Tamar being in charge of the look of the event, which actually is not a bad idea. They have another question about Vince being at the baby shower. Now, that was something that I didn't necessarily think of. Vince was at Mama Evelyn's birthday party, so there's a chance that he'll be at the baby shower. To me, that's highly unlikely considering it's in Maryland, but it is something to think about. Like, Mama Evelyn already not here for Vince, you know, with the allegations of him being abusive to her. On top of that, Miss Wanda is coming. She can't deal with them both, so one of them gotta go, and Vince clearly shouldn't be there. But moving on, we see Tracy and Towanda trying to jump rope. Tawanda's not having it, but Tracy is, you know, trying to get into it. That's an interesting workout. I think that's something that I could do. One of the things that I severely dislike about working out is that I find it very boring, so I have to find like diverse and fun activities to do, so that can keep me on like the straight and narrow with working out. But moving on, we see Buddy Lee. He is a jump rope master, whatever that is, and he's quite intense. But Birdman calls Towanda at the end of this workout, and before we go to the break, they show a little clip of what's to come. And when I tell you that I was ready to go in on Birdman, I'm gonna put up a little screenshot of the tweet that I put up on Twitter when they showed this part, and it's basically saying, ain't no way that my sister's fiance can call up and try to cuss me out about something that happens with their wedding, okay? But come to find out, he was not being that disrespectful. He was just expressing his frustration that a date hadn't been picked yet. Apparently Toni left it to Towanda to pick what the dates were, which is very weird. It's very odd. And to me, it was reminiscent of when Mama Evelyn was about to get married to Doc, and she left all the details up to her daughters. So is Toni questioning her nuptials? I don't know. He wants to get the date of the wedding tattooed on his forehead. Really? That don't make sense. God forbid they change the date. Moving on, Birdman was more respectful than I thought he was going to be, which is very good. And Towanda tells him that all the ladies will handle it. Now, lastly, we see Tracy is at Toni's house. Toni talks about how she works out on the treadmill with high heels on, and sings to help build up her stamina, which is very interesting. Toni says that she's excited about the wedding. She's going to have 3 bridezilla moments, and that to me, Toni has wasted about 5 weeks of my time with not coming out about her engagement to her sisters just yet. And for all of that build up, I feel like her excitement is like down here. Her excitement level is like real low down here. I don't know if that's because this is her second marriage. I don't know if this is because she has some type of apprehension about the marriage. I don't know. Maybe that's just me putting something on her because I don't think they're supposed to be together. But let me know if you agree. Does anybody else feel like her energy and her excitement is lower for this wedding than maybe it should be? I don't know. But Toni says that she can't make it to the baby shower. Apparently her son Diesel is like the leading man in a movie. Like, come on, go ahead. All these little babies out here doing stuff makes me question what I'm doing with my life. But anyways, they talk about, you know, Daddy Braxton bringing his wife along, and Toni is like, yeah, I'm real happy that I can't make it, okay, because they don't want to repeat a Puerto Vallarta from last year, and they show a few flashbacks of that. But Toni says, you know, it's to the point where we can't just keep excluding Miss Wanda, and hopefully this will be the beginning of them getting past it. So next time on Braxton Family Values, it is the season finale. This season only had 8 episodes. Since this show has not been as exciting or eventful as some of the previous seasons, I kind of understand why. But apparently the baby is coming, the brand new baby for Olivia and Kevin, and Tamar expresses why she doesn't want Tracy on the tour, and we all know there was some drama with that, and we'll finally get to see how that unfolds. But thank you guys for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and that'll be it for today. Peace out, home slices.